This is a simple password check program which asks the user to enter the password and then it checks whether the given password is correct or not. Today in this video we'll try to crack and reverse engineer this password authenticator using GDB. To open the executable in debugger, we can type GDB and pass the executable. Now let's first see what are the different functions that are present in this file using info command. So here we have functions such as string compare, printf, puts, scanf, main, etc. Of course we can explore all these functions one by one, but for now let's focus on this main only, because it is the point from where our user written program starts executing. Now let's make a breakpoint at main so we can control the execution of the program. To make the breakpoint we can use command break and pass the address. So it has created the breakpoint 1 at start of main function. Now to run this executable, type run or simply give R command. So it starts executing the program and it stops the execution once it hits the breakpoint 1. We can also disassemble the main using the command disassemble main. So this is the assembly code for the main function and it is in AT&T syntax, which is default on Linux. To see the assembly in Intel syntax, set the disassembly flavor as Intel and again disassemble the main. At first glance it looks overwhelming, but it is not that much hard to understand. Let's follow the path and try to draw the execution control graph of this main function. So first of all it is doing some housekeeping stuff such as setting up the stack frame and saving some register value, and then it is calling a function called getPC or getProgramCounter, which is used to set the address of global offset table. The concept of global offset table and procedure linkage table is used heavily when we deal with position independent code and dynamic linking process. We'll see more about this in another video. For now let's move on. Now let me open the control path for the main function that I have drawn before. Okay, so here we are calling the printf function at location 6201. Then we are calling the scanf function at 6217, and after that we are calling the string compare function at location 622A. The string compare function takes two strings as argument and compares them, and then it returns the value into accumulator or EAX register. We can read more about it in manual pages. It says that it returns 0 if both the strings are equal, otherwise it returns some negative or positive value. Now here, after the string comparison, there is a conditional jump. It tests the EAX register at 6232 location and then it executes the jump not equal instruction. The jump not equal instruction simply checks the 0 flag, and if it is set to 1, it follows the same path and executes the next instruction, otherwise it jumps at location 624A. If it makes the jumps at location 624A, it calls the puts function at 6254 location, which essentially prints some strings and then it exits from the main. Otherwise, if it follows the same path without making any jumps, it executes the next inline instruction and calls another put function at location 6240 and then jumps to 625C to exit from the main function. Okay, so now we have the overview of how the main will get executed. First of all, it is printing something onto screen and asking for input from the user, and then it is comparing two strings and based on that making a conditional jump, and at the end it exits from the main. Now let's run the program. So it has hit the breakpoint 1. Here this arrow indicates the instruction pointer or the instruction that is going to execute next. Let's make one more breakpoint at this test instruction, which causes the program to make conditional jumps. And then to continue the execution, use C command or continue. Let's give the password here. So now it has hit the breakpoint 2. And if we disassemble the code, we can see that the next instruction that is going to execute is the test instruction. So till now we have executed these three functions. And now we know that this print statement is the string enter the password, and this scanf is storing the user given input. And also, as we know that the string compare has been executed, this EAX register now must contain the return value of string compare. We can also see the content of EAX register by using info register or simply IR command. And here the EAX is set to 1, which indicates that the given password did not match. Now this test instruction will do the bitwise AND operation on EAX with EAX itself and sets the 0 flag if the result of bitwise AND operation on EAX is 0, which will only happen in the case when EAX is already set to 0. To execute this next instruction, we can use NI command, and if we check the flag now, we can see that the 0 flag has not been set, which is obvious because the return value from string compare was not 0. Now let's execute the next jump not equal instruction, and as the 0 flag is not set, it jumps over the location 624A, and by continuing the execution, it has printed the string failed and exited from the main. So this put function is printing the string failed. Okay, so now let's think how we can crack this program. There are so many different ways to do it. We'll see some of them. The first thing that might come to the mind is to set the 0 flag when this test instruction get executed, and we can do so by setting the EAX register to 0 or directly setting the E flag register. So let's execute the program one more time till this test instruction. Now to set the EAX to 0, we can use the set command and then execute the next test instruction. So now if we do info register, we can see that the 0 flag has been set, which will indicate that the password has been matched, and therefore if we execute the next jump not equal instruction, it will continue the execution from location 6 to 36 without making any jumps. And after that, just continue to execute the rest of the instruction. Okay, so now we have successfully cracked this password authenticator, and now we also know that this put statement is printing the string access granted. So this is how we can use GDB to crack and reverse engineer any program. And what we have done till now is not even the 1% of what GDB can do. Now let's take a look at some other approaches and tools by which we can bypass the password authenticator or extract the original password. So one thing that we can do is to change the instruction pointer to bypass the password check. So let's execute the program one more time till this test instruction, and then set the instruction pointer to this 623 address so we can bypass the conditional jump. And now if we disassemble the main, we can see that the instruction pointer is pointing at this memory location. So now we can simply continue the execution to get the string access granted. We can also try to extract the original password as it is stored inside this executable. Let's run the program one more time and disassemble the main. So here the original password is getting stored into previous memory addresses from the base pointer register, and we can examine this memory location by typing X for examine and option -8s to examine the last 8 string values from the address of base pointer register, and here is our original password. Let's run the executable one more time and enter the new password Genius. And here we got the string access granted. If you have noticed in the disassembly of main, here the password is getting stored in hex value, and we can convert it into character value with the help of Python interpreter very easily. And here is the password. We can also use the utilities such as strings and hexdump to print all the printable characters from the executable. Sometimes it doesn't print the characters in proper format because of the type of the file, but you can find your way by analyzing them. Some other tools that we can use while analyzing the binary files are strace and ltrace. Strace is used to intercept the system calls which are called by a process and record the signals which are received by a process. We can use this tool to analyze the execution sequence and extract the information about the behavior of the executable. Similarly, the ltrace is used to intercept and records the dynamic library calls which are called by the executing process and the signals which are received by the process. And as we know, our executable is also using many library functions, and one of them is string compare, which is comparing the password and user given input. Therefore, by intercepting the string compare library calls, we are able to get the original password. Okay, so these are some of the tools and techniques that we can use while analyzing binary files. So that is all for today, and see you soon in the next one.